Yo, what's up guys, it's Aptrix here. Today we'll be talking about the top 5 best 3DS emulator for Android devices. Now I'll be ranking these 3DS emulators according to the compatibility of games and newest features such as Mali GPU optimizations, multiplayer support and much more. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe as I bring similar videos on my channel. With that being said, let's get started through today's video. On the number 5 spot we have Citra Bifrost Edition. Yep, the emulator which I created with a buddy of mine is going to be on the number 5 spot because it was really good at the time. I know some people who still to this day use Citra Bifrost Edition as it was the forked version of one of the best Citra MMJ Android builds. Along with that, we added some extra features and optimizations. Unfortunately, all good things don't last forever. The official team Citra did not acknowledge my project and instead they told their followers to not try Citra Bifrost Edition. Team Citra was like, no, you shouldn't really fork any 3DS emulators. So I thought it's not worth continuing the project, but I know I have received overwhelming support from you. Till this day, I get comments that I need to update my Citra Bifrost Edition. So I'm really grateful for that. And it was indeed an amazing emulator. If you have an low-end device, Citra Bifrost Edition works really well. Unfortunately, it's not up to date with all the newest 3DS emulation on Android features. So it's up to you, you can give it a try. And if you guys want me to work on Citra Aptrix Edition and don't care about what other people have to say, then if this video reaches let's say 1000 likes, I'm down to do that. Only if this video reaches 1000 likes though. I know it's pretty difficult. The official team Citra wasn't really supporting forked versions of Citra emulator. They weren't a big fan of many forked versions like Citra Black Edition, I guess Citra Rogue Edition. I can't even remember. 2021 and 2022 were crazy for Citra emulator folks. Well, with that being considered, let's move on towards the number 4 spot of today's video, which is the Citra Enhanced Edition. Now Citra Enhanced Edition had only one goal. It was to combine both unique features of official Citra Android and Citra MMJ together. Well, these are some mad science. I'm not Illuminati guys, so yeah. Anyways, Citra Enhanced Edition did get lot of support at the beginning, but now I have an update that it has been discontinued. The main guy who was working on Citra Enhanced Edition just didn't want to continue the project because of some backlash, and as I told you guys before, official team Citra isn't a big fan of the Citra emulator folks. Even though Citra Enhanced Edition was a really great emulator, I think the last update which it received was in 2022, November 2022 to be precise. And don't get me wrong guys, even to this day Citra Enhanced Edition holds up really great because it has all the unique features of Citra MMJ added into the official Citra Android package. In all seriousness, Citra Enhanced Edition does deserve the number 4 spot on today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if any one of you guys still use this emulator. With that being said, let's move on towards our number 3 spot, which is indeed the Lemuroid 3DS emulator. Now if you have watched this video on the iCard above, then you know Lemuroid 3DS emulator managed to beat the official Citra emulator for Android in both gameplay performance and also graphic quality about 6 to 7 months ago. But unfortunately, as Lemuroid emulator hasn't been updated since March of 2023, it is still lacking in major features like FPS counter and also large screen layout, which would be pretty great because in Lemuroid 3DS you get only 2 small screens. It does not really provide a great gameplay experience. Another fact to consider is Lemuroid 3DS works really great on low-end processors or low-end Android devices. There is one really unique feature which sets Lemuroid emulator apart from all the other emulators mentioned in today's video. That is the ability to fast forward. As you know, if you are emulating, the emulation is sometimes slow. For example, GBA games, it takes lot of time for the subtitles etc. You always have an fast forward button to make your gameplay faster. Well, the same thing goes in Lemuroid emulator. Fast forward mode helps you get better gameplay experience and faster gameplay performance while emulating 3DS games on Lemuroid. With the help of this feature, low-end devices can also perform 3DS emulation. For example, if you get 10 FPS in stock Citra Android, after enabling fast forward on Lemuroid emulator, you will indeed get better results. Let's move on towards the number 2 spot on our today's video. It is the official Citra Android Canary builds. Yep, not nightly builds because Canary are more stable builds. Well, in the latest Citra Android Canary build, if you have seen this video right here, then you know it has been improved quite a lot for low-end devices. The performance and gameplay experience is off the charts, and On Mali GPU Android devices, you can now get 2 to 3 times more performance that you used to get previously when emulating 3DS game. For example, on low-end MediaTek processors, low-end Exynos processor, 3DS emulation used to really suck back in the days. I remember in 2020 when I tried Citra emulator for myself on my Realme 1 Android device, I used to get 3 to 4 FPS, which was unplayable. But now if you try the same emulators on my device, I get well over 30 FPS, which is just mind-blowing. Citra emulator has improved so much, and I do hope that Nintendo Switch emulation through Yuzu emulator also sees such great progresses in the near future. Compatibility is also a huge thing. Their emulator are compatible with most of the Nintendo 3DS games ever released. That's a huge thing to say, and hence official Citra Android is deserving of the number 2 spot. This is the problem in living in apartments, guys. Like, just hear this. What the heck, bro, I can't even record a video in peace. Anyways, on the number 1 spot we have Citra MMJ Android. One of my favorite updates of Citra MMJ was when it received a brand new UI layout. It was added, I guess, earlier this year, but it makes Citra MMJ look so refreshing. Every time I still use this emulator, I don't get the feeling of using some old emulator. Instead, I get a refreshing feeling. And not just that, Citra MMJ is compatible with almost all 3DS games as well, just like official Citra Android. It even has multiplayer support along with the ability to provide great gameplay experience after modifying the configuration file by applying the settings which I told you guys in this video, in which I showed you guys Citra Android 2023 best settings and configuration. I only get around 40 to 45 FPS in official Citra Android. Meanwhile, in Citra MMJ I get well over 100 FPS, no issues whatsoever, and I am talking about 4x emulation, guys, not even 1x resolution. Citra MMJ was also one of the first projects to add or implement Mali GPU support. Not just that, you get many settings which aren't even present in any Citra 3DS emulators for Android, and most of the Citra folks which I talked about previously, like Citra Black Edition, Citra Red Edition, or any other Citra emulator, they were all folks of Citra MMJ Android just because the Citra MMJ is the best 3DS emulator for Android, and hence we can crown Citra MMJ as the best 3DS emulator to use in 2023. Let me know in the comment section down below which 3DS emulator are you using, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.